Shxrk has now won 2 PlayStation Cup finals. So what I first want to do is run through a W key game from Opens where he drops 23 eliminations. Then I want to compare that to one of the games in finals that he won and basically see how he's so good on console. Off the rip, 50-50 for a chest, they did not get, and very good awareness not to go for the guy who was actually 50-50 on that chest, and instead to notice that someone else had landed there, and that they're going to grab that gun first, because even if he managed to eliminate that first player there, then he would have died. This is also something we saw, who was it? Acorn do, if you've watched my Peterbot versus Poyo video. Alright, gets a tag off. Nice elevation change to go up to, very material efficient, still got 8 mats left. The other guy... probably, I know he's got no shield, but he knows he hasn't. I like this drop down to sit below the ledge. Build off, grab himself. Can be a cape so he can escape if need be. He has an auto shotgun, so should be able to run straight into the fight. The fact that other guy is dropping just a ton of bubble shields behind him is just an indicator that he's probably got the mats. I was wrong, of course. And he's able to wipe him out off spawn. It is a low elo game, I'll be honest. The main nice thing in that off spawn was pretty much just the fact that he targeted the other player and didn't instantly die. All right, he spots someone inside of the building. Footsteps are out. Insta cone to go through, which is nice. Starts crouching. As he approaches, pumps the wall to weaken it. Instantly gets the cone in first, then grabs the wall, and then does a bottom right 3-tile edit. I don't know what he hits here. 60 or something like that damage, so not that bad at all. Cone's down. Immediately gets a cone on top so the other player can't get out. Resets the wall to block the pump, which is so good. I love the little small wall place there, just like slyly placing one to this side, because that middle wall between the two players isn't his here. So if he edits out, then Shxrk still has control of this wall. So that was really nice, just very minute little detail. Walks himself up in case someone else is there. I mean, this guy's like... he's got demon mode. He's obviously not the finest of players. Let's be real. Let's be completely honest here. But Shxrk does a nice little bottom right 3-tile edit here too. Gives himself angles, blocks him getting out the box, waits until he goes to that side. And then this is such a nice little angle. Just the bottom right 3 peek into the pump. Again, reset. As soon as the other player shoots the wall, he can just open up. And I think he has no bullets left. Yeah, he's got no bullets left at that point. So he can just hit the pump and kill him. In full speed, obviously this guy is not the best at all, but there's a lot of really nice little minute mechanics in here, like the edit selection, of course, and just the random little pre-pieces that he placed, and in particular that wall to the side, just to make sure this bad player couldn't escape and he could kill him quickly. Does look like someone else is nearby. Well, a demon sitting on height. I'm sure this guy's incredibly good. Instant edits through, nice ramp place, and he just pumps him. Okay. Not a huge amount of breakdown in that one, I'll be honest. Alright, this fight is really nice. Starts off with a little bit of a crank. The double edit down. The immediate height take is so good there to pump him to kind of crack him out for 100. Goes to the full piece, tries to get up. And then he goes for another angle. So this guy obviously runs away with the bat. He chases down. But like the pre-piece he does here is so good. So you can see he sprays to try and get in and try and grab that wall. So he tried to place the cone that's under him right now. You can see that cone. And the wall to the left. So he tried to put that inside the other player's box. But unfortunately, he was just completely blocked as he was doing that. Then his immediate reaction here is to high wall in case that other player tries to go up. Sees the footsteps going back into the box, so he manages to exploit in, breaks through, that guy gets up, and now we can try and edit through this high wall and piece. But the other player just managed to get out. So now he changes angles, trying to cut him off. He actually does have the doubles there. Great left-hand wall take with the cone. Allows him to hit a shot. The other player missed there. The angle changes are so good. Now he's up, basically jumping over the top of the box to try and piece him up instead as he gets out. And of course this guy's bat is charged. Basically, to spoiler the rest of this fight, yeah, he just bats after him, chases him through into this building. I think he has absolutely no HP left. He just sprays in and manages to kill him. I want to quickly take a look at the mechanics he uses in the start of this again. So he's trying to like ramp flip, which is interesting. I think he gets blocked. I don't think this is his floor. It's not. He tries to grab the doubles in case this guy drops in there if he's trying to grab the sidewall, but he doesn't. Then he jumps up onto the ramp behind, floors. That's really nice. Like I've seen this mechanic do quite a lot where they're jumping out to the side and placing the ramp in the wall, but he's actually just straight lands on the floor and then jumps up with a high wall, completely piecing him. If he'd hit that edit, he could have pieced through and boxed him, but he doesn't. So he jumps to the side, high walls, cones to land on, cones him while this guy's mantling, and then pumps for 60. That start of this fight was so good. So because that was really nice, I just want to watch that again in full speed, just to see what the mechanics actually look like from a player like this, because obviously I've been pausing and starting it again. There's the jump I was talking about, straight on the floor, high wall, so nice, blocks him off, pumps him. Beautiful way to start off the fight. All right, this fight's funny. I've just watched this ahead of time. One player disengages. He tries to go for the spray, so he now goes for the player down below. Grabs the cone, and then beautifully like, blocks off with walls, drops down while the other player will be thinking he's trying to get in from the top. Slides a ramp in and tries to take the wall, but fails. So then he thinks the opponent's going to hit it at this side, so he ramps, full pieces it, but he doesn't. Now, he drops down, pumps him, minimum, full box, 90, but then tries to edit the code and misses, and now he's weak. So I don't know if there's a panic, but he gets through and just switches into the bat and full just like sprints around the box before killing him. The first part was nice. The panic bat is good to get you out of a lot of situations because a lot of times other players will like edit a hole for you can get out. And specifically in endgame scenarios, like just panic batting actually works a lot of the time. In there, a little bit more of a 50-50 though. It's another really nice play here where he's chasing this other player who he's already hit super duper weak, so he knows he can't heal. And then as he approaches the top of the box, places a ramp down, pickaxes once, and then he just takes out his pump. But importantly, watch the movement here. He swings all the way to the left so that even if this player was kind of hiding behind this peak here, he wouldn't be able to match him, right? So like he was in the middle. There's no edit this guy could do that would be actually safe because as he's running this direction to get behind this wall, Shxrk is swinging all the way to the left. So like this immediate wall swing to the left, I'm sure there's a better way to word it than that. Really nice because now it just make sure he has the super free edit. Even though this guy obviously just kind of like did edit in the open, but even had he been in a good position, say he'd been like actually behind the peanut butter, from the angle that Shxrk's swung to, he could still see him from there. Basically, walk to the left if you're going to drop on someone's wall like that. This fight's pretty funny because he sees that there's an opponent in that cone. So on approach here, he does the cone trick, which as you can see here, he pulls out his cone and there's usually a lock icon right in the middle in your screen, which I'm pretty sure most people know about this point. That is if someone's holding the edit. So this guy is holding it. He places a wall and then has like creates this like really nice right hand peak, so he already knows where he's at. Pickaxes once, which he actually misses, which is funny because he hits his own wall here. And as this guy edits, hits the max and then places a wall right in front of him. What I find interesting here is that he kind of like does too much. So he misses that edit, which is really nice that he tried to like edit and sprint at the same time to get a nice right hand peek if he'd like opened this one up. I think that's muscle memory that most people don't really have. As you are editing to sprint, you're like, my binds aren't really set up to do that at all. Like a lot of people sprint then edit, but not both at the same time. So here, had he done a right edit, he could have, you know, easily killed him. Because he messed it up, he then like goes for the full piece behind him. Still tries to take a nice wall, but now gets blocked. Tries to piece again with the scroll wheel, but misses. Or maybe the 50-50 there would have been better. So now he still has to drop down. And if this guy just wasn't building in wood and playing, you know, if he wasn't so good, let's put it that way. He now has a much harder time to try and win the fight. But he eventually, I think, manages to take the wall. Where is it? Come on, Shxrk, you can do it. There it is. And take it. So yeah. Really nice little sprint edit, but he still managed to mess it up. Got some more nice movement here. That guy was replacing the wall. Baby Shxrk managed to hold it. I say Baby Shxrk. His name's Shxrk. Hold it at the same time. Gets the cone in. Gets another minimum. So 2 minimums in a row. Tends to go mess up. He does mess up his edits quite a lot. That's quite interesting. This is like the second clip in a row where I've seen a door edit now. Now, this player holds this floor in front of him. So he's just playing with a shotgun out, reloading. Something I've covered in a lot of videos so far. Goes to the pickaxe, switches back to bait the edit. And again, look at the movement. He still swings to the right a lot of the times. So previously when he dropped to the wall, he was swinging down to the left because the other player was going for a right-hand peek. But this time, because he's above on this slight floor, you'll see he swings to the right instead because that's going to give him the better peek. And for this guy, trying to like shoot onto someone who's above you is very difficult if they're swinging to the right. So I think he does that again here. Yep, creates a really nice edit as he put the cone and then the nice fortile. Pumps him, walks to the right, same thing, and manages to pump it up down below. I really hate this angle, like the above angle. I'm really bad at it, but it's something I've noticed that a lot of pros are really good at when they're just standing on that. What do you call it? I'm just gonna call it the above angle. I just lose every time from there. So one thing I find really interesting about Shxrk is that he changes angles and pre-pieces probably more than anyone I have seen. So you see here, he's below. It's a pump, blocks him off. And then most people in this scenario, right, they're just going to jump through and take a shot here. They've got the edit. But he's predicting this guy to just keep running all the way around and get out that box because he managed to miss the back wall. So he always pre-pieces round, which is entirely true in this instance, and manages to finish him off. So kind of similar to what one of the other clips. Like, he's often just editing and getting pieces on walls and then immediately changing angles, but he's so good at predicting which way the other player is going to go. Because I've tried this a lot, and I'll tell you what, not very that easy. One thing I find very interesting about a lot of pros is the fact that they're really good at using the items that are given to them in the season, right? So in this instance, the medallion that increases movement speed. Now, and I'm sure a lot of other people, have really awful mechs when you have that increased movement speed and the fact that you can jump higher. watch what Shxrk does in a lot of this, well, in this fight against Axno here. This one's kind of long and drawn out, but the movement he has is so good. So he starts off with a triple edit, almost dropping him down. I really like the reset into right window in case this guy had gone there, which is super, super nice angle change. And then jumps up, so knowing he can jump higher, manages to piece. Sprints around the side, but again, knowing the sprint jump, he can jump over that wall without having to place a wall or ramp. And then grab the doubles way on top of him. Resets, baiting out the shot, but this guy doesn't bait. And it unfortunately actually phases too. Grabs the floor, pieces again, and misses. That miss is really unfortunate because this fight now drags out quite a lot. But the piece there is absolutely beautiful. He actually gets hit back in return by the other player. Drops the angle down, full boxes himself again as Axno manages to run away. So now it's time for Shxrk to heal. Starts to pop the chug jug. Of course, he also has the coin to get his shield to go back up as well. Now that that's started to kick in, almost gets him up to full. So he can now jump over, starts spraying the wall, starts to pressure. This other guy looks like got the cone in. But it looked like he was popping bandages there. I don't know if he was or not. You can see him now start to box out and create angles. But look how far he goes. He sprint jumps like 3 tiles away and grabs doubles here, cones, and nearly grabs that wall. So he misses, unfortunately. But good awareness to pick out his pickaxe, switch out to his pickaxe, sorry. And similar, he can sprint jump around the side. Does get pumped back. This other guy is putting him in. Triple edits him down. And then again, knowing the height, he can jump out of that. Re-edits down, back into his face. Can jump back over. And now this drop down is nice because he double ramps here. Swings on this wall, knowing he's in that box. And now is going to bait out the edit. So he can then put a wall between in case he does. Which now gives him control of like a complete beautiful right-hand peak. Which I absolutely love, I'm not going to lie. Unfortunately, just misses the shot there. And then I think this guy ends up dropping down. And he manages to get him with the last pump. But a lot of like random, really cool little mechanics in there. But I think the coolest part is the fact that he actually very much so understands the height, the speed increase that you get from the coin. And also the sprint jump height as well. There's a bunch of other elims earlier in this that I skipped over. That he was also just doing a really, really good job of just chasing after people when they bat with it. So, cool. Very good understanding of the coin. Then right after that, cone checks another guy, manages to get the pump, gets the HP advantage, jumps up and then tries to phase straight through into the box, but doesn't work. So he jumps and then manages to phase himself down as the other player isn't holding that. That's really cool. So the jump allows him to phase through the cone. Yeah, I don't think it would allow him to phase through the floor as well after that though. But either way, manages him to get through one layer of the build, which is super nice. All right, straight away, we've got a runner. And chase him with a dash. And then doubles down this side, grabs the wall, edits through, gets the pump. The other guy misses. He also slid a ramp in there, which I'm not sure if you were able to catch. Reset, blocked the left wall. So many actions at the same time. In particular, blocking this left wall is so nice. And as this other guy gets the metal wall, which is his here, he pumps and then edits and also places the wall. So he's full boxed. So now this other player, if he wants to come out into this box, he basically has full control. So Shxrk goes around the side, places an exit piece wall again. So in case Splatoon wanted to go out to that side, he has full edit control. Edits through this as a top left now. And now since this guy's just reset, he can just phase straight in. Bang. Hit the max. This is another really weird one where he cone checks this guy again. Great hiding spot, by the way. Just be in the middle of a building. And in a cone. No one will ever predict you're in there, especially on the left-hand peak. Pickaxes to open it up. Hits the max. Bang. But as he does that, he jumps, ramps, which would piece the guy beautifully underneath, like trapping him here, because I don't think if you're under ramp, you'd be able to hurdle over this little wall here. So he'd be full boxed. Again, would make him not escape, so he's full control. Also flips the ramp as he's piecing the rest of that, which is so nice, and cones himself up when you realizes he actually killed him. So had that guy run in his face, he already full pieced him and then would have edited straight back on him again. Alright, honestly, rest of the game didn't have too much, so let's jump into one of the finals games and let's see how that differs from how he plays an opens match. Now you can see his match history already very, very different. The highest elims he got here was 2 6-kill games. So I'm going to watch the first game where he actually managed to win with 6, and especially a win with 4 elims. He's obviously playing very, very differently from how he ended up playing the WK games in opens. The first and most obvious difference is the fact that he's landing at shining spans rather than landing at demons. Of course, in demons, that's when you get the medallion and the mythic AR. But you're probably going to die a lot of spawn because you're going to be heavily contested. But for Shxrk here, instead, just land a more safe drop spot when it comes to finals, because that's actually where all the money is. All right. W awareness from this other guy who's put down dashes, managed to get like 137 or 40 damage on him. Now we've got some really good awareness from Shxrk to actually go straight into this to make sure he has dashes too. Because in this situation, the other player could easily just jump away, build a box, and if Shxrk hasn't got the dashes himself, he'll be able to be left behind. Now he manages to get up. I really like this fact that he placed a cone to the left here. This is actually quite interesting because what a lot of players will do, say in this scenario, which you can actually see him do, is try and run around the right-hand peak and then do like a sprint jump shot up into this angle. But by doing this, Shxrk, I'm going to watch it from his perspective actually. You can see it's exactly what he's trying to do here, and Shxrk predicted that perfectly, which is really, really crazy actually. I don't think it mattered because he ended up piecing down this way. Yeah, that guy ended up missing just because of the way he ended up piecing here. But super, super nice prediction on basically just coning the left to prevent himself from being sprint jumped. Sprint jump shotted. Oh my god, that's hard to say. Small little thing I thought was really cool here was the use of the geyser. Now, this is the big geyser, as I mean, basically everyone references it. And timing of this is really important. As you see, as soon as the island's about to spawn, that's when he hits it. So if you fly near the island, it'll essentially pull you up. Or if you're too close to it, it'll rift you at the same time. Another player's managed to rift, so he'll probably beat him down. But this means that Shxrk is pretty much guaranteed to be the first or second person there. All right, so he's managed to kill the boss. But at the same time, there is someone else still up here with him. They can't exactly just jump for it and grab the coin. It may have also fallen down. This does happen a few times. Someone's building down there. Oh, yeah, so they're building up for it. Is he going to risk it? Oh, he slides for it. Uses the dashes. Nice bit of server lag. I think the other player managed to actually get here, which is really unfortunate. No, he didn't. Okay. Oh, I got the DMR. Well, that's disappointing. Yeah, the other guy managed to get the coin. The strat was cool, but unfortunately didn't really work out for him. I was saying he did manage to get a chug jug out of it. So I guess going for the island in his instance is almost definitely beneficial. Still does not have any mobility, so dash sprites it is. That one has a couple of uses, so chop one down. There is a second one. Oh, I was going to say there's a second one you can just grab to refill. That's interesting. He doesn't actually look to carry a dash sprite. He's instead looking to carry 2 med mist. I imagine that's what he would drop for it instead, which is kind of strange because, you know, dashes, regardless of if you have a mobility item like a bat, are still insanely good for endgame. So strange that he decided to drop this or not pick it up. Pushes up for a superhero chest. This should give him some form of mobility. Yeah, he's got a cape from here, so that's really good. The mist form. So that's at least 10 uses. I wonder if he's going to use the... No, I was going to say, I wonder if he used the... I can't remember what the other item, the other mobility item's called at all, actually. Completely forgotten it because I've not even used it yet. But no, okay, managed to take the cape. So 10 uses. Imagine all of them are just going to be saved for endgame. Boring bit, but basically center third zone, reharvesting all those mats. Most good players at this point don't really do anything at all. Like, just if you're roughly close to center, you don't need to rotate. You've got everything you need. So, like, even W keying for a point probably isn't worth it. So it makes a lot of sense just to quite literally sit and do nothing. This is really nice. He gets a completely free refresh that he doesn't really even need here just by holding a player. So he edits his floor. There's a little bit of server lag, so all these builds end up unfortunately in the wrong place. And then as the player's running around his box, edits the top left 3, which is strange because it's tough to actually reset this from there. Cones, grabs the left. Look at the sniff. Look at the impeccable sniff. It's 100. The other guy apparently has his AR out for some reason, so he doesn't shoot him. Gets the reset. No, it doesn't actually get the reset. Doesn't reset the wall at all. Just blocks him. Whiffs. And this guy's got his pickaxe out for some reason and dies. So, yeah, nice piece, I guess. Rotates pretty late, uses the bat just to make sure he doesn't get focused. Builds metal as soon as he gets in as well, just to make sure no one's spraying him. It's interesting he's just full sitting edge. I guess, is he looking for a pullback or something? Still only is that a 2-tick? Now it's a 2-tick. So superhero leveled up. It's actually interesting because that's siphon for him there. Nice angles blocked. Ooh, drops down as the player starts to spray in. I don't know if this guy needs surge or something. Beautiful window peek. Ooh, and the max. Nice. Grabs himself some dashes from the body. Has the gold AR still. Do you take double chug? He does not take double chug. Dashes in, just not waste any more whites. Hits the mist form. And now he's pretty much already into the 6th zone too. I like the high layer change there as well. Also keeping away from everyone. I don't know if he went in. I don't know how close he is to the edge. It's kind of hard to tell. Let me zoom. Oh, the map's bugged, unfortunately. Malabuca's in here. Yeah, so he's relatively deep. So he didn't actually stay like on top of where Malabuca's head was there. He went slightly deeper in just to avoid basically being jumped on by everyone else who rotates in late. So we're about to see exactly what I talked about on this next rotation. You can see Shxrk, again, jumped over everyone, as I mentioned earlier. So he would have been positioned, say, roughly where Malabuca is. I think down here on top of this. I think this is the wall, the metal walls he built. Yeah, and then he dashed further in. So now look, there's like really minimal players on this side. Whereas, of course, everyone is congested over here. So if we now watch how he ends up rotating this, while sitting in the box, he's sitting holding his edit, ready to run that direction. And then as soon as the zone pops, he just goes. So now if you notice, that rotate, like he is the first to go. There is no one, I was going to say no one in front of him, outside of the people who obviously rotated there early. But everyone is now stuck behind him, thinking, where am I going to go? If he was here, Much different story because you have all of these walls of players blocking him. Then he actually uses the mist form as well. Just, I think, one use of this here just to make sure it gets even further ahead. So, yeah, really nice little quick rotate. I wonder if he's going to keep this kid. No, just keeps running. Little stagger. Okay, nice. Managed to refarm on the way. Now uses another use of the mist form to probably do something relatively similar. If it goes all the way up into first order base now, I think he'll be as close to dead side as possible. So this positioning as well is so good. He's not just like a little W keyer that you see from a lot of the players who do well in opens. No, but in finals, he's playing these positioning so smart. So then not only is he able to refarm a bunch of his mats in here, he's up to 139, but he's also able to go in to get his superhero chest, which allows him to upgrade his mist form. Well, not upgrade, replenish his mist form uses. So he now has complete cap 10. He's also about to have cap mats because of this too. And now let's look at the position when the zone's about to close. Yeah, zone pulled from this direction, where a lot of players would have stayed. They would have been sitting, where sky jump is. Even that position actually where sky jump is pretty good, but there were a lot of players who were like clustered around this area. Imagine the rough rotate. Imagine how many mats a lot of these players have wasted. But Shxrk, unsurprisingly, Malabuka, another fantastic solo player, are deep into this zone away from everyone. So their next rotates can be really free. Even if they have to go back, he can just basically use one use of the mist form, or maybe rotate to here, use one bit of the mist form, and just get himself into a good spot. So then the zone pulls up to the north, which is kind of way above all of this congestion. So, a lot of players, unfortunately the map's bugged. He's actually here, but the map for some reason isn't showing him in replays. He was sitting around here, so rather than just white lining it around, so he was positioned here. Now the zone has pulled up to the north. Unfortunately, he's not visible on this map, but he's actually rotated all the way over to this position here. He's going to wrap in. I imagine he's probably going to wrap in down this side, or maybe try to actually probably stay up on the hill here. But everyone down here is going to really struggle to get their way in there, whereas he's just relaxing. He's just chilling over here. Just absolutely no problem at all. I thought he was also like camping at the backside, trying to kill someone as soon as they rotate in. Like, even though he doesn't need a refresh, that's just a free point. There's no risk in just camping, waiting, going for a pump, hoping you can get something. Now he rotates in a little bit later, and he's managed to keep himself up on a high layer. Remember, this is a massive hill. This is a huge hill zone. So imagine to stay up where he is here is very important. There's people who are dropping all the way. Who's this guy? Who are you? When does this guy die? Okay, not that long after. What a surprise. You do not want to be jumping down on a zone like this. Now it pulls back at you. So it pulls back up. This guy's one use of his cape. Let's not even watch Shxrk. Shxrk doesn't get an elim for a few minutes. Let's see if this guy's made the right play playing ultra dead side away from everyone else. I would imagine. Probably not. How's the rotate gonna go, buddy? I would imagine not so well. One use of the cape. Already getting sprayed. Yeah, okay. Now you're gonna have to use your cape. Pops a mini for literally 3 shield. What is this loadout he's carrying as well? Is he gonna get fought by this other guy? Okay, he uses his one use of it. Does actually manage to get up, which is nice, but now he has no uses of that cape left. Starts to get focused. He's got 5 HP. You get the gist. Not a good position. All right, let's watch the crisp end game from Shxrk then. Uses cape. Much better position than Floyd, unfortunately. Keeps a high layer. Double boxes. Inside of the zone, so 2 spaces. Kurama down below, who ended up placing second in this and won the opens. I think won opens, or I could be wrong, or maybe he didn't place second. He did good. He's good at PlayStation Cups. Pressure into the players around him as well. There's not really a huge amount of need to play super passive. Like, you see so many players in endgame just like creating 2 boxes or 1 box and just sitting and doing nothing. But Shxrk's sitting deep enough back into the box where he's safe. He can just pump, he can just pressure, he can do things like that. That's how you open yourself up for a bunch of refreshes. You don't need to like W key, pickaxe the walls. Just pump with a shotgun, spray a little, see what happens. Next rotate, hitting out the mist form. Again, staying up on high layers. He doesn't look like he's playing for height whatsoever. He's just playing high layer levels. He's not like looked up either. This would be way too early to go for it. Guy tried to get into his box there. He ended up basically batting him off. So many players congested around him. This would be a bad time to edit. I was going to say and open up because now he's going to be weak. I was waiting for someone to try and jump on his head there. Good, he managed to make it work. If he's in a rough little congested layer like that, not a great idea to do it. Like, he doesn't even build that sidewall, trying to be very material efficient. There's no one on that side, so he's holding it completely. Free elim onto the big phase velo. Now he's able to heal up. Nope, no one on height. Okay, nobody's up on height, so you can just take it from there. I don't know how much you want to hold it at this point of the game. This is a fine time to take it in terms of actually trying to win the game. 11th zone, to be honest, probably the best time to take it, especially when he's got so many mats. But I do wonder in this meta, I've not watched enough solos in this meta because there hasn't been any. of how good it is. Essentially, best time to go for height in solos for the most part is towards the end of second moving, or that transition into the final moving zone. That's kind of the time where a lot of players are running out of mats, and if you have plenty, you can hold it for the rest of the game. A lot of players try to take it so early. I do wonder if we're just going to see a spray off for the rest of the game. Is anyone actually going to look up and try to contest him? Couple nice beams. He does get 2 more elims in this game. He's not overcommitting by going front side as well. The 11th zone's relatively small. You don't need to like tarp all the way to the front to make sure you're holding. If you're sitting in the back like he is, you have full visibility onto everything down below you. And then if any footsteps are behind you, you pretty much know someone's trying to flank you at that point. So, you know, you don't need to do something crazy like tarp all the way to the front at this point in the game for solos. Sky jump chops him. Just nice little reconnect. Still has capped wood. However, if a player starts to look up, like Sky jump starts to look up and sees him in wood up on height, they're more than likely going to start to chop him and try to spray for him. But no one's really looked up yet. Like, I'm pretty sure this whole endgame, not a single player has looked up. That is the benefit of this AR as well, the Spire AR, that you can just spam over and over and over again. Like, the pressure he's putting out here is really good. Single bits of wood used. Even if he gets chopped, he's not that high. Dropping down. Still not going to overcommit. That's good. Checking to see where the zone pulls, if it's going to pull back. Or I was going to say if it pulls back. No, it's not. Okay. That guy's off. That's the guy who lost... that guy... I swear that guy was in one of my shorts I did. Jump straight into the backside of the zone. Interesting. So just goes to play heal off with the 170 chug jug. Sky jump dies. Cancels all that. I think he was looking for a big pause. That's maybe what it was. Okay, and then wins the final game. Awesome. Shxrk is a fantastic player, both in opens, and then he plays these finals games super, super smart as well. His rotations here were really nice. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. Peace.